What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Week 16, championship week for a lot of y'all. Some of y'all it's next week, most of y'all it's this week. Got some not some running backs. We did running backs. Make sure you're checking out the running backs. These are some wide receivers we're going to talk about today. Like I said, back here in beautiful North Carolina, no more sweating in the sun out in Arizona. Me and Max still going to be doing separate start-sit videos, though. I got a lot of positive response from that. That way you guys get our honest opinion without influencing each other. Right? You know, you can get Max points, you can get my points, then you can decide for yourself. That's what it's all about. Like I said, appreciate you guys watching, though. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great season for a lot of you guys. I'm getting a lot of messages about everybody going to the championship and making it farther in their first few years of playing fantasy. That's great. That's great news. Just because the season's almost over, though, don't be forgetting about us. We ain't going nowhere. Make sure you stay subscribed. Make sure you're always commenting. We'll be doing videos all year long, getting ready to transition into some new sports, keep things rolling. But for right now, we're going to roll some wide receivers into the championship game. Hopefully win you guys some money and some bets, because I'm sure there's some crazy bets out there. If you got a crazy bet in your league, hit us up with a comment down below. Let us know what it is. Heck, if somebody's got to pay out that bet, you can take some pictures of it. You want to incriminate them further, send it to us on Twitter or something. We'll post it on social media. Make sure the world gets to see it. Let's get right into it, though. Let's get talk about some wide receivers this week. What about Robert Woods? Robert Woods came back from injury. Didn't get the normal workload that he was getting prior to the injury, but I think it's just kind of working back in, but he was great. I mean, scored a touchdown again. I mean, it wasn't a huge game for Robert Woods, but you can kind of see that he was healthy, and that's great, because going forward, you're going to need him. They're going to be at Tennessee this week. Tennessee's secondary is way weaker than their run defense. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, the run defense doesn't matter with Todd Gurley, and you're pretty much right. Todd Gurley's going to be able to run against, like, anybody. Like everybody. I don't know if anybody could stop Todd Gurley at this point, but they're not going to run the entire game. Yes, Gurley's going to have a heavy dose of it, but they're going to throw the ball, and Robert Woods is going to be the top target of Jared Goff again, and they don't have anybody that can stop him. I mean, he's not one of those elite wide receiver one. I mean, he's not Julio Jones or somebody to that level, or Antonio Brown, but he's solid. I mean, he is a consistent performer. Well, he is this year, anyway. Prior to this year, I don't know what to tell you. He didn't cut it in Buffalo. Bet you Buffalo wish they had him now, though. Like I said, it was just a weak secondary. Gurley's going to be keeping a lot of guys in the box trying to contain him. That's going to open up a lot of man coverage on the outside for Woods. And obviously, Sammy isn't too involved with Woods there. So, yeah, Robert Woods firing back up. Have no issues with starting Robert Woods this week as a wide receiver, too. He's had double-digit points in his last 4 games that he's played. Yeah, he missed a few weeks with the injury, but when he plays, he's consistent. He's got the speed to break big ones. He's got the hands to catch the short possession routes to get the first downs. And like I said, Goff looks for him. And that's exactly what you want. You want safe plays this week with high upside. That is definitely Robert Woods this week. If you got him, have no fears with putting him in your starting lineup. Marquise Goodwin, somebody that I've talked about for the past few weeks out in San Francisco. Really, really like Marquise Goodwin. Like a lot. Like on a weird level for fantasy football. Like this dude next year, put something down in your notepad. Write a note down somewhere, anywhere. Put one of those sticky notes on your computer, on your laptop. Remember Marquise Goodwin next year. Dude is going to be a stud next year. I mean, I'm going to call for him to be like a top 20 wide receiver overall next year. Minimum. I mean, the dude's got the talent, the speed, and now he's got Jimmy G. Give Jimmy G an offseason as the starter there, and with all the talent they're going to bring in the offseason, Marquise Goodwin's going to be a stud. This week, though, they're going to be at home versus Jacksonville. And I don't start anybody against Jacksonville. I sat Carlos Hyde in my running back video. I'm going to sit Marquise Goodwin in my wide receiver video. It's just too risky for championship week. You don't want to start a guy like Marquise Goodwin who has all the upside, but he isn't a for sure thing. And going up against Jacksonville with that pass rush, Jimmy G is going to have to do a lot of quick decisions. The corners on the outside, both Pro Bowlers for Jacksonville. I mean, it's great. I mean, that defense in Jacksonville is ridiculous. Like, wow. It's been 5 straight games in double digits, you know, for Marquise Goodwin, and that's going to try to influence you guys a lot. But don't pay attention to the past numbers. You're focused on this week. Yes, as good as he's done in the past does not guarantee that he does good this week. I'm just not buying the huge game from Marquise Goodwin. I mean, it's a top-ranked defense in Jacksonville. he's very TD dependent this week, and if he doesn't get that TD, he could really, really hurt you. So for me, Marquise Goodwin, he's a sit this week, despite his past successes here in the past few weeks. Like I said, though, watch for him next year. He's going to be a stud. What about old man Larry Fitzgerald this week? Larry Legend. A lot of people thought he was going to retire after the year. He signed a 1-year extension, and lucky him, he gets Drew Stanton back. Said no one ever. I mean, the quarterback, situation in Arizona is disgusting. Having just coming from Arizona, I'm glad I don't have to live out there and deal with listening to it all the time, but it's a mess in Arizona. I mean, when you're relying on Blaine Gabbert and Drew Stanton to win games, you're not going to win very many games. But Larry Legend, Larry Fitzgerald, he's done great with Drew Stanton. But he does great with everybody. I mean, all you got to do is throw him the ball and he'll find a way to make the catch. He's averaging just under 7 receptions and 100 yards in games that Stanton has started. Not too many touchdowns, but he's getting the looks. I mean, 10-plus targets a week, easy from Fitzgerald. They don't have a whole lot of other options, and Stanton locks in on Fitzgerald. He's going to get peppered with targets. The PPR leagues, I mean, this is a game where I can see Fitzgerald at home against the Giants in a weak secondary coming down with 10 receptions this week. He did it earlier in the year with Stanton. He can do it again. It's just, what he's capable of. They're going to be playing at home. Larry's great at home. 4 of his 5 touchdowns this year that he's gotten have been at home. He's a high performer at home. He likes playing indoors. He doesn't have to worry about the cold weather, being all old and arthritic. I doubt he has arthritis, but he's football old. But I still love you, Larry, in case you're watching. I hope you're watching. Maybe you are. Probably not, though. Not yet. But no, Larry Fitzgerald, definitely a start for me this week. If you got Larry Fitzgerald, he is a safe, solid start for your championship week. Somebody I feel 100% confident in starting as my wide receiver 2. Easy. I mean, if that's who you got in your flex play, great job, because he's going to be consistent for you this week. Really, really high floor. Really love Larry Fitzgerald this week. Look for him to do, I want to say some big things, but I can see Larry having a nice game this week, and that's something I want in my lineup for championship. Last guy I want to talk about is Brandon Cooks. Now, every week I suggest to sit a top 10 to 15 wide receiver. It's been Mike Evans, AJ Green in the past. This week it's going to be Brandon Cooks. I'm going to sit Brandon Cooks, which a lot of you guys are saying, well, yeah, I don't play Brandon Cooks anyway. A lot of you guys rely on him every week. But for me, they're going to be at home, which is great, in Buffalo, but it's going to be cold because it's in New England. It's not supposed to be horribly cold. It's crazy. It's supposed to be like in the 30s or 40s at game time, which I was expecting a lot colder. But, he doesn't do as great outside. He's an interior dome type player who's had a few good games at home, but it's inconsistent. Buffalo hasn't given up a touchdown to a wide receiver since week 12, and Buffalo's going to be pissed about the whole Rob Gronkowski thing from a few weeks back. And I'm not going to say they're headhunting, but they're gonna be looking for some retribution. You don't know where that's going to come from, whether it's to Tom, whether it's to Gronk, whether it's to Cooks. Somebody's going to get laid out this week in New England. And to me, Brandon Cooks is just too inconsistent. Somebody I can't bank on. He's only had 2 catches for 17 yards in week 12 against Buffalo. They shut him down then. I kind of expect a little bit more of the same. I look for more of a, they're going to look for Gronk. Brady's looking for Gronk, and Gronk looked great last week, catching everything. But Brandon Cooks this week, I don't think so. With Brady not looking 100%, cooler weather, outdoors, an irritated defense, an inconsistent wide receiver, that's just too many things to stack up against somebody that you got to trust on a championship week. Not me. I'm not trusting Brandon Cooks this week on any of my teams. He's not going to be in any of my lineups, that's for sure. So those are my start sits for wide receivers for the week. Hey, like you guys can see, me and Max still doing separate videos, so make sure you're checking out his also. Make sure you're giving us a like, comment, subscribe. Just because the season's almost over doesn't mean you have to unsubscribe. We're not going nowhere. We're not just football. We're everything sports. We're getting ready to transition into some basketball and baseball, so make sure you guys are sticking with us. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us this year. It's been awesome to get to meet you guys. So we have a live stream coming up end of the week. Make sure you guys are ready for it. Hit us up. Get your questions ready. Do some live Q&A. Get you guys ready to go for your championship week or your week just to stay out of the basement, because nobody wants to be in the basement. right? All right, cool. You guys have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. What's going on, everybody? Jake Fantasy Headliners. Want to talk to you real quick about the Draft app. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. Now's your time. Make sure you go into your app store, downloading the Draft app. More than 1 million people have already done it. Right now, you can draft in less than 5 minutes, get a team going, and be on your way. Right now, if you log in and make your first deposit, use the promo code Headliners. We'll get you into a free game, a chance to win some free money. Everybody likes free money. This is your chance to win it. Right now, put in that promo code and download it, make that deposit, and we'll be looking for you. We'll be looking for somebody out there to challenge us one-on-one. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.